Good evening. Welcome to episode 121, Bart Mendoza and friends.
And friends, yes.
Yes.
I have friends. See, this is proof. This is proof. Anybody that's questioned that before, I've got two.
Yeah.
And they both came. So that's a good plus.
I think we want to introduce them now or after the song.
And he paid us $20.
Yeah, it's like this. It just reminds me of the old Jefferson's thing where Mr. Jefferson is missing and they go looking for him. He goes, "Have you tried his friends?" "Yeah, I asked both of them. Neither one of them knew where he was." It's the same gag. So yeah, we'll introduce him now. So
Perfect.
on the drums,
Yes.
that is the lovely Greg Smith. We've been playing together for what, about 4 years now? Something like that. Also plays with Falling Dove, so you see pictures of him all over the world. With true stories, he's pretty much stuck to San Diego, sorry. But yeah, he does great with, played with Pete Best as well, recorded with Pete Best last year.
Wow,
so that's
fun.
a very, very cool thing. And then to his right, left, I don't know, I can't tell. I went to a public school, I can't tell the difference. Kiki Cadiz here, the photographer, graphic artist extraordinaire. And so
Welcome.
she's shooting
Both
a couple
of you.
shots here today. Thank you for having me.
Oh, it is our pleasure, Bart. Thank you for coming back.
Well, how many times have I been here now?
This is probably your fifth, and it's always unique. And I and I thought,
Wow.
usually we start playing music right away, and we'll get there.
We will.
We will. But you're a very important person in San Diego and to us in this show. You help curate this show. Every December, ladies and gentlemen, Bart Mendoza has been doing the booking. So you've made it very fun. We get to we met Max last week.
Max
we
is
think
awesome.
very fond of him.
He's a great guy, yeah.
And Drew.
And I know you have Sluka. Has Sluka been on yet?
Sluka has not been on yet.
Okay, so he's coming up. So there's a bunch of people coming up, and I've got a new line of musicians as well that
Awesome.
I think you'll like for the next batch. But yeah, lots of stuff going on right now. So
Well, let's
dig into it a little bit.
dig into some of your music. Is this going to be an original piece?
This is an original piece which I've played here before, but not with Greg, and we'll see how it goes. But this is called "In Your Arms." It's an old Shambles song, which is kind of weird to say because
We love the Shambles.
Well, thank you. I do too, but it's like not that many people know who they are, so it's kind of like saying it's an old song by Fred. Fred might be a great guy, but what are the odds? So, do I sing into this?
That is your.
Wow, I feel like Chris Isaac. Okay.
Yeah.
You guys want to start?
Yeah.
All right. This is "In Your Arms."
It all seems so uncertain, best described with the word perhaps. You only want the truth, and it's that nothing ever lasts. You smile and talk like we're old friends. I'm hanging on to everything I can. Always thought the future could bring better. Always thought the future meant ahead. Not learning different ways to see things, and the word instead. Smile and talk like we're old friends. I'm hanging on to everything I can. Somewhere the stars are shining, it's in your eyes tonight. Someday we'll be realizing things might turn out different. Things might turn out right. Lead. It's so hard to say goodbye. Lightning pierces the sun. So we sit and wonder why has we become undone. Smile and talk like we're old friends. I'm hanging on to everything I can.
great song that was.
Thank you. We've done that on this show before, but not with the full complement. And Greg's background vocals and drums make all the difference to me. I mean, that's just like...
You are fun to listen to, and you sound great, Greg.
Well, we were just in the studio with Alan Sanderson, you know, Elton John, Elvis Costello guy, and Rolling Stones. And Greg went in and did the background vocals. We thought it was going to take a while. Not sure how it's going to sound. Spot on, 2.5 minutes, all 3 songs done. It was like, what? Amazing. So it's just a great guy, and a great guy all around. So, you know, deals with Chris Slave all the time.
And I show up on time.
Yes, that's 90% of the battle right there.
Right.
So
the drummers
show up
being
at
late?
all.
yeah, musicians showing up. Yeah, for the rates around here. Are you kidding me? Yeah. So yeah, lots of stuff going on. So that's In Your Arms, and I can say that Alicia Previn just recorded that song.
Oh,
so that'll be coming out in Europe next year. So that's probably my 3rd most recorded song. Can't Want to, Faster's first, and then All Sorts. That's each one of them has been covered about 8 or 9 times by different people.
I can imagine what she might have put over the top.
Well, I haven't heard it yet, but it's with Wolfgang Gracekamp on keyboards and a bunch of other people. So it's got to sound pretty amazing. But I'm always thrilled when anybody covers one of my songs, to put it mildly. So
is anybody in here cold?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a heater right there.
Yeah, I can see it.
You want to turn that on?
It's on, isn't it?
No, I turned it off because
Red
the
light's
front
on.
door is open.
Yeah. The cold isn't the problem so much; it's shooing away the penguins. That it just gets old. It just gets old.
Surprising, man.
Yeah, it's just.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah, we'll be here all weekend. Just try the fish. Yeah.
That's too funny.
So yeah, let's see what's going on right now. Today I spent working on the San Diego Music Awards, so that was kind of fun. And I got to hear over 200 albums from you out there.
Wow.
It's a couple
Thank
of
you
us
for
were
doing
going.
that.
Well, somebody's got to do it, and I got to say, actually, it's one of the things I love most every year is going through everything. And I'd say 80% of it I've heard, because throughout the year I hear and I'm out all the time. 257 shows I went to this year.
Good for you,
So
man.
that's so I do hear a lot of music, but it's that 20% that you go like, wow, where did this come from?
How your ears doing?
Man, I was pretty
What?
beat by the end of the exactly by the end of the.
When you do that, are you on full headphones? You live in your stereo?
Actually, there's a few of us in a room, and we're all listening to it on comfortable couches and just playing it, not going and giving our opinion to it.
Oh, okay.
Some of the
Sounds like fun.
there's some comedic value in our comments and stuff like that, but what is surprising to me is actually how good most of the stuff really is. Some of it isn't my genre. It's not really my bag. If they still use that phrase, but it's uniformly pretty good. There are a few that you kind of go like, wow, did they listen to this before they sent it out? And we did get, as usual, a couple that were like, who is this? Like, there's no name, there's no return address.
No.
It's a CDR with some songs in it. They're not bad, but there's
There was no return address?
no return address, no nothing.
CDR is not even marked?
No, it's not marked. There's like, so
That's strange.
It's a little detailed.
as long as I've been doing, music and writing about it, that's a common thing. I don't know why. People just, I guess, forget and they seal it up.
maybe, yeah.
I remember, I'm not going to name
You
the
are
band.
dealing with musicians.
I'm not going to name the band, but I did some artwork, a cover, and I asked them to check back with me to make sure everything was there, and they just sent it out. And when they got it back, I said, there's a problem with this cover. He goes, no, it looks great. I'm like, okay, where's your return address? Where's the song credits? Where is the name of the band on the... Oh, I guess we're going to have to do another pressing. Yeah, I think so.
Wow.
So, yeah, I mean, I've forgotten stuff on there. I'm not going to not throw myself under the bus, too.
But you didn't forget your name of the band.
No, I didn't, but the best one ever, and I'll have people find the cover. There's an album cover that I did where I moved a piece of it out of the way, on the graphic arts, to another corner and left it there. And the cover got printed. Nobody's ever said anything about it. I guess they just think it's art. But I know it's not. It's like, wow, why is this weird thing in the corner? Oh, it's my, other people say it's their favorite part of the cover. I'm like, okay, I don't get it. Okay, so there you go.
The slight subject change.
Yes.
We'll get back to the
sure.
the Bart. By the way, do you like Bart TV? Did you see that little?
I didn't see that, but I do like that.
That's cool,
it's like,
right?
the obituaries are Bartuaries. So.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's what you're
taking advantage of your name in that capacity is a lot of fun. But do you notice any differences here on the set?
I see all kinds of differences. It's roomier for one thing.
Is it?
There's a drum kit in the middle of the room. There's that. Kiki wasn't here before. That's one.
Larry Moe and Curly.
Larry Moe and Curly have changed, so there's that. And yeah, it just looks cleaner.
Could you please fix that cable? It's driving me a little mad. Can you put it behind him or the
I don't
something?
think it's gonna.
We'll work something out.
Thank you.
So now we're dealing with aesthetics. So you know what? It looks less cluttered, except in that corner. Yeah.
Which corner?
That corner where everybody's piled into.
But yeah, great. I was just wondering.
No. This looks really
We
cool.
wanted to go a little cleaner, and it used to be really like posters and pictures everywhere. It just looked like a barf. It looked like
It looked like Wayne's World.
It looked like Wayne's World. Anyway,
Well,
Well, I mean, come on.
if the nesting doll fits, you know.
Hey,
Yeah.
you know, he actually said that. He actually said it in a quote I wrote in the reader. So that was one of the things. And that reader article is what I always use when I'm trying to get people to come on. Like,
That's great.
I said, hey, this is what. Oh yeah, we'll definitely do it. You know, so
that's cool.
So it's really, really,
yeah.
really
Thank
cool.
you for writing that. You know, you being on the show. You haven't been on since.
No, I haven't been
So-
since the article came out.
But,
Well, yeah, I mean, this is one of my favorite things, and there's just so much. Things like this are what makes the San Diego music scene great. There's all kinds of different avenues for people to use and take to get their music further. And anybody that's on this show, it's recognition, you know, significant recognition. You know, plus it's a great opportunity to like actually get your word out. You know,
Yeah.
stuff like this and loudspeaker and things like that. It's invaluable. So, you know, thank you for doing it. I mean, and thank you for everybody else doing
It's
it.
our pleasure.
Yeah.
Wow, what an honor to hear someone like Bart say that about our show, guys. Isn't that great? Yeah, everyone needed, I think everyone in the back, Larry, Mo, and Curly, you get a round of applause.
Yay!
This guy with the
Muppet clap.
Sam
Groucho,
Elliott
Harpo,
mustache.
And Bob.
The Sam Elliott mustache is a new prop too.
Okay, yeah. Well, that mustache is epic. We were talking about it before, and it's like, yeah, that's
Wife
impressive.
loves it, by the way.
Okay.
Absolutely enamored by it.
Are you putting wax in that thing?
No, I don't.
Well, like I said, you know, it
She
does.
does not
It does.
like it at all.
We should mention the job options you have
Yeah.
now, right?
Yeah,
So
there's a lot.
you can play bass.
Yeah.
You can work in a video game.
Yeah, I could be in the video. I could be a plumber in a
You
video
can be
game.
a plumber in a video
Yeah.
game. You could sell potato chips.
I can drink banquet beer.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can
yeah.
sell banquet beer and also meat. Yeah,
Yeah, it's just-
Too funny.
This is great. This is great.
Song two?
Well, wait. Let's wait on the song 2 for a moment.
You have some
but-
more news?
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm going to plug the
Art's
heck out of this.
Full of news.
Ah,
He
look,
is-
here we are.
So
he
here
is
we
news.
are.
This is the new magazine that
This
I've
is a
been.
new
Hey,
magazine.
there's our buddy.
Yeah, he's been in one. We're still in the beta testing. It goes viral next month. But this is a brand new magazine for San Diego music.
So cool, man.
There's a lot of info. We want this to be kind of collectible and something that people keep. So we're having and we want to be positive as well. So for example, right here, this whole column is just on bands from San Diego that made the charts. You know, who was on the Billboard charts. This is local releases, and then we do, you know, the more basic stuff, interviews with bands and so on. And then a lot of spotlights on gigs that are coming up. Here's Avenue Army, who
There you
just got signed to
They were here last week,
Cleopatra
man.
Records. Got an art interview with John Borak, who wrote the book on Power Pop.
Look how colorful.
Yeah,
Look
lots
great.
of color, lots of
Great feeling quality pages.
and we don't discriminate. Everything. There was a thought that they wanted to do a page on classical, a page on hip hop, and I say it's all just music. Mix it
Just
up.
roll it in.
Yeah. So we've literally got, what do we got here? Trio de Janeiro doing Brazilian music. We've got a Springboard West and the Symphony on the same page, right next to the Stones and the Petty Fest. So I mean, we're trying to do a little bit of everything. And then the last 2 pages, as is traditional in magazines.
Wayne's.
Yeah,
book.
we're doing like a fun thing. Next month it'll be strange stage stories, which is weird things that happen to people when they're on stage. This month we did 10 fun holiday gifts from San Diego. And you know, it starts with stocking stuffer socks from the Casbah and ends up with Pierce the Veil rocket ship jewelry. So I mean, we got a little bit of everything. And the best part about this magazine is it's absolutely free.
Wow.
So Vinyl Junkies and the Casbahs had copies recently. There'll be more copies out throughout the county next month. Tim Powell's is on the cover. Kiki took the photo, so there's that as well. And so I'm really, really proud of this, and I'm hoping
I'm
it makes a
excited about
difference.
that,
Yeah,
yeah.
so brought a couple of copies here for you guys.
Taking
great.
your comic book roots there, I kind of feel it looks like a.
Yeah. I mean, we wanted it to be something like a San Diego sort of like, you know, not really, but mojo-ish.
Gotcha.
Where most stuff, you get a reader, you look at it, you toss it. We want this to be like, okay, I've got every issue. Yeah, I got all 10 issues, that kind of thing. So
Nice.
we are guaranteed a small run, so that's kind of cool.
Is there a comic strip in there?
There's no comic strip, but
Scratch and sniff?
No scratch and sniff yet. Oh, that might be kind of fun. We're hoping to get some dispensaries to sponsor that. So hopefully scratch and sniff, or maybe some samples if you're listening out there. We are looking for sponsors, advertisers, however you want to call it. So if you want to contact me, I will get you in contact with the right people. But that is going to
And
definitely.
what's the best way to contact you, Bart?
Facebook actually is the best way because. And I will say this to anybody that's trying to contact me, please try more than once if I don't.
Yeah.
I get 80 to 100 emails a day, and it's really easy for you to get like stuck in the bottom 20 sometimes if you're taking care of the top 10, so to speak. So if I don't get back to you, it's not because it's just, try again.
Send more than one.
Yeah, send more than one. And I have no problem being contacted 25 times if that's what it takes.
Yeah.
I'm not one of those guys that, you send enough email. No. I don't want to miss anything, so there's that. So we talked about the music awards, we talked about the magazine, and we're going to talk about Guitar Legends in a moment.
That's right, Guitar Legends.
Yeah, right, let's do it now.
Yeah, do it now.
Guitar Legends 3 is coming up on December 27th, and that's yet another thing that I think is going to help put San Diego on the map. The plan is for that to be done every year at Waterfront, hopefully. And this year, it was Nancy Wilson from Heart, Warren Haynes from the Allman Brothers, Billy Gibbons from ZZ Top, George Thorogood, the Miami Horns with La Bamba, Kenny Aronoff on drums. Who else was there? One of the guys from Black Cherry Smoke. Who else am I forgetting? Steve Lukather from Toto.
You took some really nice pictures with those guys, hanging out with Mark Langford and the...
Mark Langford and those guys. Yeah. Oh, actually, Mark wasn't there. No, it wasn't his thing. It was Brian Whitkin from Pacific Records who was very kind to invite me down there. And we were down there to help out any way we could. I ended up just hanging out, and every one of them was just great. Just really, really nice people. So it was.
You had
really
access to the big room, the Hendrix room, or whatever they call
it.
it.
Access. We were in there with everybody the whole time, just making sandwiches and being annoying, I guess. But everybody was really, really nice. Warren Haynes, man, I got to tell you, it was fun to listen to everybody play. That was great. And so there was only about maybe 20 people there. It was fun to listen to everybody play, but when Warren Haynes played, the room stopped. When everybody else played, it's like, okay, we're moving equipment, we're doing this. But when Warren played, it was like, wow. It was like...
I've seen him play before.
He's amazing. It's just every note is pure honey.
He's
just
powerful sounding.
Yeah, just stunning. Just what he was playing was amazing. Everybody else was good. There were some magic moments, like watching Nancy Wilson teaching the backup singers the background parts to even it up.
Oh my gosh.
Or George Thorogood jamming on Johnny B. Good.
Perfect.
All that kind of stuff was good. And also seeing like certain moments, like apparently Kenny Aronoff hadn't seen Nancy Wilson in a while, so there was a reunion there like that, and that was really, really cool. And the other guys like La Bamba, who's one of my heroes, you see him on Conan O'Brien, played with Springsteen, Southside Johnny, etc. They were just like almost surprised that people knew who they were. That they're used to being in the background, session guys, So it was a really, really a spectacular day.
Those are still our superheroes.
Absolutely, but what makes it really great is that this is going to have a really nice effect on San Diego.
Good,
It took place here, the rehearsals were here, the taping was here, and it's going to be broadcast on the 27th on the CW.
So cool.
So live it was good, but I got to tell you, the rehearsal was more fun.
Yeah.
That was really something. So I was really happy with that. And see what else is going on. New manual scan record coming out in 2 weeks. So, and it's the best kind of new manual scan record. It's one that I had very little to do with.
That's what makes it a good one.
I'm kind of at the point. I'm at the point where, like, I don't want to be the one digging stuff up and doing the artwork. And we actually have a label in Spain. We're on Bickerton Records for manual scan right now. We're on Snap Records for True Stories. And what makes it kind of cool is that they are demos that we did in 1981 before we went into the studio for the first time. We didn't want to just go in and get a bunch of studio time and record. We wanted to go in and do something first, a couple hours, 2 hours, see what a studio is about. Because there was nobody in the band over 18. I think the drummer was 14 at the time. So we wanted to see what we were doing. At the time, we didn't think the demos were very good. Okay, this is not what we want.
Are they on tape?
Yeah, the tape, this 2-inch tape. But they're very twangy, it sounds like drums are cardboard boxes. It just was, I'm not going to say the studio because the studio is actually quite good. They just didn't do a very good job that day. So I'm not going to throw them under the bus.
Because you were 14-year-old kids.
Yeah, we were 14-year-old kids. But 6 months later, we went into the studio at Circle Sound and did the real record, and it came out. It's that much better because of it. It came out. It's a punk rock kind of garagey classic now, if I may say so.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of weird to look at these sketches when we were like just little kids. One, and two, the fact that anybody would want to release it. So I'm like, okay, it's kind of cool. So 7 of those songs are coming out on 10-inch vinyl in Spain.
Whoa, cool.
Now, what makes it on top of that even a little better is that the label is doing, it's called the San Diego Underground Series. And there are 4 records coming out in the initial batch. It's going to be nothing but bands from San Diego, nothing but unreleased music pre-1990. Okay, that's all that they're interested in. So the first 2 bands coming out are The Event and Manual Scan, all unreleased music. The second 2 will be the Crawdaddies and Mark DeSerbo and Four Eyes. Mark DeSerbo and Four Eyes.
Mark DeSerbo
and Four Eyes, yeah.
And Four
So
Eyes.
a great band. They, you might know them. Mark was in Rockola.
Oh, of course.
Okay, and he's in the Steely Damned now. So
certainly.
Those guys, and it's just really good rock and roll. But I just love that in Europe there's such a strong love of San Diego performers, and so I mean, seriously, a series like this, they're looking at 10 discs ultimately in a box set. Colored vinyl with deluxe everything inserts. It's like, wow.
That's cool.
That's really cool. I had a question about
Sure.
the 10-inch vinyl.
Yes.
What gram would that be? Would that be like a 180?
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be like, because this guy does the top of the line.
Good.
I mean, inserts and the whole thing. So, yeah, it's just beautiful product. I'm really proud of it. But again, I'm really happy that I got the artwork, and he says, "Oh, I just took pictures off your Facebook page and stuff like that." All right, fine, that's good. One less thing I got to worry about,
That's that's being proactive and makes things happen. And as long as the quality is printable.
Oh,
Not a lot of the things that I print,
yeah,
you
yeah.
blow it up a little bit bigger and you see the pixelization. Like, I didn't what's that called, Al? Reformatting?
Yeah, it is reformatted.
So anyhow.
You reformatted the wrong thing. Yeah, so, and then while I'm at it, I might as well mention this too, is that oddly enough, there's going to be a second volume of Manual Scan and Shambles covers. So there's already one volume that's got 24 groups from around the world playing my songs. There's going to be a second volume of that coming out next year on Snap.
Man.
So they're looking for bands right now on that. There's 11 tracks already in. So we'll see how that goes.
That's a lot. That's very exciting, Bart.
It's
so much stuff to keep in touch with, and
well, that's just like touching tip of the iceberg. We got the Music Awards on March 23rd. Before that will be the next Staring at the Sun. Scott Shaw did the greatest album cover of all time. I think Greg may have seen it with the. It's basically Staring at the Sun is a compilation of San Diego performers, usually 44 bands, and the covers are done by local comic book artists. So we try to have a theme. So when China Flores did the cover for edition 10, she had the characters of her Blue Monday comic book hanging out in front of the Casbah. Okay.
Cool.
Bat and Lash had vampires attacking downtown San Diego, that kind of thing. This one is done by Scott Shaw, one of the greatest artists in the world. You've seen his work for decades. The cereal commercials, the Flintstone toys, all that kind of stuff, that was Scott Shaw. Okay, and so he did a cover of the animals at the zoo having a concert at Wedgeforth Bowl. And so there's a giraffe actually playing my blue guitar, and there's like seals it's just one of the greatest covers you've ever seen. So that's coming out in time for the Music Awards, and there's a lot of really good people on there. Only thing I can tell you for sure is that the Monroe's Welcome to the Show is the first track. So, we got Pony Death Ride and all kinds of really Skid Ropers on it, all kinds of people. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
I would like.
And that's free.
The singles aren't really allowed, right? You have to submit an album, correct? Or an EP?
EP. Okay, so a single is 3 tracks or less. An EP is 4 tracks or more. Okay, depending on the length of a track, 6 tracks or more can be an album. Okay, but it's got
SDMA allows all 3?
not singles.
Okay.
Okay, and the reason for that is,
Too many singles.
well, think of it this way.
Probably a little too easy to get in, I guess.
Well, seriously, you could literally, if you just did a song, you could record, because they were due on the 20th, right? You could record 30 songs on the 19th and submit them. And basically, if you had that category, everybody would.
Yeah.
That's exactly what would happen. But honestly, the category of singles or Song of the Year in the Music Awards
Based off of the albums.
no, actually it's not. It's actually based on songs that get radio airplay nationwide, etc. So as great as a song I right is, it's not competing with Jason Mraz and Switchfoot and Blink-182, and I mean, that's just, no.
Hot Snakes.
Yeah, Hot Snakes, right.
Yeah.
Hot Snakes won last
Yeah,
year, right?
yeah,
Yeah. Okay, so we're not in that same league. You know, as great, my song could be better than ours. Not really, but I'm saying it could be, and it doesn't matter because I'm not on a major label and I'm not getting airplay.
Yeah.
That's what it takes, and that's people forget that the point of all this isn't to constantly be putting out new stuff. It's to get the same stuff heard over and over again. That's how a hit happens. You know, you hear the song over and over and over again. Yes, keep putting out new music, of course, but you got to keep pushing the old stuff.
So that formula, though, the way that it was done in the 50s and the 60s, and then the way that, is that how it's still...
It still is. It still is. Take a look, and I'm going to paraphrase here, but I posted this on my page a couple days ago. The Spotify figures are out, right?
Okay.
And they were saying, again, I'm paraphrasing here, but essentially put something like the top 10% of what's being played is more than everything else, other kind of music that there is in the world. So the top 10 songs are being streamed more than every other form of music on the planet.
Wow.
Okay, so that means that 99.9% of the music is getting almost no traction. It's just like, and again, I've never checked this myself, but I've heard that a majority of the videos on YouTube have less than 100 plays. Now, cumulatively, that adds up to billions, but individually it means nothing for the artist.
Is that an algorithm, or is that just the effect of a song or songs that are just traveling? I think that almost sounds like it's generated like
The algorithm?
No. It's the same thing, because when they started doing the charts for illegal downloads, people were shocked because they thought that with illegal downloads, for example, people would be going for the rare and the unusual. Like, okay, well, I can't get this Beyonce track. I'm going to look for that rare remix they did. That's not what happened at all. The charts actually mirrored the exact top 40. So it's not that at all. It's just that people don't want to pay for music. So it just is. And the other thing too is that, you know, this really shows that the rest of us are not Coldplay. The rest of us are not Beyonce. You know, and so I really do find it amusing sometimes that people get so uptight and upset. You know, and I look at you've got 100 likes on YouTube. That doesn't even register. You know, unless you get 1 million a day, nobody cares. So just, you know, relax and make music and have fun. That's what it's about.
Right.
Yeah.
Having fun.
And $50 every couple of weeks at a club somewhere. You know?
What is it?
Well,
Wayne
Wayne's.
Records, $50, 50 bands,
50 years, 50 bands, $50. It hasn't changed. You know, it's still, people were getting $50 a gig in 1940. They're getting it now if you're lucky. You know.
I got 50 guitars, 50 joints, and 50 girls.
Is that right?
That would be my book. No, I'm just kidding.
Wow.
I'm just kidding.
Okay, Mr. Hefner. Okay. Too funny.
But
yeah.
No, good stuff. That's a really nice, fun book to read too. I'm sure you've read it.
I have read it. I'm in it. I'm very proud of because the book sold well enough that they actually reissued it.
Fantastic.
And so there's a new version of it that includes 2 pages, and it includes my photo, so I like it a lot more. No, actually, basically, when it was reissued, they added the fact that he won the Lifetime Achievement Award.
Oh, after, yeah.
And the photo is me handing him the trophy, so there you go.
That's like a cherry on top of the...
Well, you know, I am...
on top of the what?
I really enjoy the music awards. It's a wonderful way to, you know, shine a spotlight on San Diego. But what means the most to me every time is the Lifetime Achievement, and I have a lot to do with that. I write the on-screen words and everything about them, and I do help choose who it is. I can't say who it is yet. That's not going to be announced for this year, but it's going to be a good one.
Yeah.
We got somebody really, really good that really deserves it. Who I've worked with extensively over the years. That had nothing to do with it, but. It's going to be a good one this year.
Well,
so March 23rd, save the date. If you're a musician in San Diego,
And that's going to be at House of Blues again?
House of Blues again, yeah, you need to be at this event. I mean, you will meet everybody in town that is helpful to your career. Every writer, every DJ, every producer, every club owner is going to be there, and this is a great opportunity to go up and say hi. You know,
We had a lot of fun last year.
Oh, yeah.
it's always a blast, and. People are just in a good mood. Everybody dresses up. It's just, it's the party of the year for local musicians. I can't recommend it enough. And people always say, should I go? Yeah, you should go. Mm-hmm. And you will have a good time. And heck, you get to see, 5 or 6 bands do 2 songs each, and it's the cream of the crop. So they always have good paella in the backstage too. So I mean, if you try that, so yeah. House of Blues does make good paella. So you got any questions for me? Anything?
I like your shoes.
Oh, thank you. My desert boots. Yeah.
This is the most relaxed I've seen you dress when you come over here, and I appreciate it.
It is cold.
It's cold.
It is cold. I thought I'm going to put on a suit and tie, and I thought, no, you know what? I'm good. I'm good. And plus, I'm going to a show after this where it's going to be even colder.
What show?
We're going to go see Ziggy Shuffledust and the Spiders from Mars.
I think we're going to be
we'll do
tailgating. Why am I saying such dumb things tonight? Saying
Tonight?
the few but the dumb things just
Tonight?
come out of the mouth.
And then what's the T-Rex band called?
But no, we're coming
Electric
with you.
Warrior
Electric Warrior with
with our
Greg.
band member.
Kiki's driving.
Yeah,
How
Greg
you
Vaughn
doing?
and Diana Death. We saw them at Bar Pink a couple of months ago.
That was fun.
That was that's right. You were there. We talked for a while. So yeah, that's one of the things I like as well. Is I do see Mike out quite a bit. We don't see a whole lot of the movers and shakers out as much as they used to because everybody's getting older. But you and Piles and Rosie Bystrack, a couple of other people, Markle Tumlin, Vince. These people I see all the time. I love that. You know, it's just like, hey, how's it going? Oh,
What about, I see Victor Peñalosa.
Victor Peñalosa is another one.
Oh, he's so funny.
But he's on tour half the year nowadays. So I mean, he's like, Victor, man. I mean, can you believe that guy? Magic Christian, Flaming Groovies. Now he's in Los Dug Dugs.
Wow, he's just having fun. He's having too
Dude,
much
he's got
fun.
the best career on the planet. I mean, he just gets to play with all his heroes' bands for a while and then move on to the next band.
Wow.
You know, he was in the Zeros for a while. He
Yeah.
was just, heck, he played with my band for about 2 years. You know, it's
cool.
just filling in here and there. It's just he's a great guy on top of that. So like that.
Well, I did have some questions.
Sure.
They're eluding me right now.
Okay. You got any questions? Any questions? Kiki, you got a question?
How many songs? We're going to do 2 more. Are they all capoed?
One.
Yes, they are. We're gonna do one more.
So I like that. Let's talk a little bit about that because it is a guitar theory, a little bit.
Oh,
Little small
wow, we're gonna
segment.
talk guitars.
Just
wow,
a
okay.
little bit.
Okay.
Bart Mendoza, you are a singer-songwriter.
Yes.
We keep our guitar. You play Strats.
Yes, I do.
He has a blue Strat. The other 4 episodes, if you want to watch the previous ones, he's playing a really vintage 1982 Strat.
Yeah, Japanese Strat.
Japanese Strat, very
Japanese
cool.
Strat. One of the ones, the few ones that came out that year.
And the progressions. I want to talk a little bit about your influences. You put a capo on, 1st fret, 2nd fret. This is dictating a melody. It's something you came up with in the morning. You're like, oh, I need to be on the 1st fret. Like, how are you determining, as opposed to just no capo and singing?
A lot of songs that I write specifically as an exercise. So like, You Still Take My Breath Away, which is the next one, which you played it before. I literally put the capo there, and then tried to write.
Okay.
So yeah, just like I just want to do something different.
Cool.
So the purpose of this is like specifically to just, I could play it regularly.
So it wasn't stimulated by the frequency or the key. It was like, I'm doing something different today.
Yeah.
Bam.
Yeah.
You could. It maybe didn't even matter like what fret it landed on.
And Greg will attest to this. And when we get to rehearsing, the key changes. It'll be, in E one day and then another one as I settle on how it's going to sound best. I tend to think that capoed, my voice sounds better. The higher up I go, the better it sounds.
Cool. What's the highest you go?
And
I'm not talking about the car.
Oh yes. No, I capo on the 5th fret. I do capo all the way up to the 5th fret.
And that's a ukulele.
Yeah.
Just in case you kids out there are wondering, you put the capo on the 5th, and we take away our E and A, and there is your uke.
See?
Pretty cool.
And the thing about guitar playing is that I know almost nothing about it. I don't know how to play very well. I don't know. Basically, I taught myself everything. I just kind of went, oh, okay, this might work here. Let's do this, whatever. I've heard this, and I'll...
Good technique. You kind of have like a folky, a little bit of a folky with your technique.
Because the way I learned was my parents, when I was 13, 12 years old, were going to Baja for 3 months, camping down there, and I was bored. So when we stopped in Tecate for supplies, I went into the little magazine shop there, and they had a Toca como los Beatles for 40 cents.
What did you just say?
Play like the Beatles in Spanish. Toca como los Beatles. And the chords were wrong, and it was on terrible paper, and it was just like that. But I bought it, and over the next 3 months, I taught myself how to play guitar.
So cool.
Just off that book. And again, later on, I looked, and the chords, the songs were wrong. The words were definitely wrong. Some of the chording was bizarre, but it made me made me learn how to do stuff. But again, a lot of it had to do with the fact that I had 3 months with nothing else to do. There's no electricity. There's no. Yeah, it's just like okay, you
Wow.
got. Yeah. So I would just be like over and over again until I got it.
Did it dawn on you like, oh, don't grab so hard?
No, not at all.
Just maybe a lot of natural instincts were happening. Like, I'm playing, I'm doing this.
My only real, my grandfather played guitar, so I did see him play a little bit. Didn't pay attention. The way I learned how to strum and stuff was I watched A Hard Day's Night. I saw A Hard Day's Night. By the time it got to the end where the girls are screaming, that's all I ever wanted to do in my life. I just looked at that one. I was 10 years old, saw that one like, I want to do that.
That's that.
You know?
That's the life for me.
Yeah. Well, my actual words, I remember this distinctly going like, my mom has Beatle records in her room, because I didn't know. I heard stuff on the radio, and I'd heard that, and so I went, okay, fine. But this was a big deal, it was a revelation. But anyway, that's how I learned. So I don't consider that I actually know how to play guitar. I just know how to make noise. It just happens to be the right chords every once in a while.
So humble.
It's
With
no,
his 377 songs that he's written.
man. I hope that before I die, I can record them all. It's
sure you will.
way more than 300 at this point that haven't been recorded. I've got like 700 songs in a box.
We're just going to have to come over here for a weekend and just record everything on, we have some horsepower here. You can use the studio whenever you want, Bart.
Oh, wow, that's an offer. I'll come in and demo.
Totally.
Yeah, so, it's just, music to me is just, it's like air. It's got to be around me all the time, 24 hours a day.
What are you listening to right now?
Right now,
200 local bands.
200 local bands. I will say I've been listening a lot recently to Emmett Rhodes, who's my earliest inspiration. A lot of it, I love his music, but beyond that, it's because he played every instrument on his record. When I was, and I think I've told the story before,
I like albums like that.
I was maybe 14 years old, and Kevin's neighbor was having a garage sale. And I was walking by, and a guy walks up to me with this album and goes, "You need this album." And I'm like, "I'll buy it. Why do I need this album?" He goes, "It will change your life." And I said, "How much is it?" And he says, 50 cents. And I go, "I can afford 50 cents to change my life." I got the album, went home, listened to it, and damn, he was right.
Cool.
I looked at that and went, wow. And it was the first realization that you could overdub, that you could do these things on your own. And I know people have told me, well, Paul McCartney did it before him. Yeah, but that's one of the Beatles. They can do anything. They can fly. Okay, this is me, and this guy did it. And he even took the pictures on the cover himself. We set the time. And I just thought that was great. So listening a lot to that, listening to a lot of the Zombies. But on the local tip, the stuff on my constant play is like right now, Evan Diamond, the Sleepwalkers, the January Berry Band, Alvino and the Dwells, the Tourmaliners. I'm trying to think who else. The Rosalind's new album is great. It's all covers, but it's fantastic.
Cool.
They did a great CD release show last month. Trying to think of what else has been like really just making me very happy. New Switchfoot album I kind of like a lot. New Blink album is okay.
I heard the guitar player Switchfoot on Everybody Loves Guitar podcast earlier last week, and that was a really nice interview. He's like the new lead guitar player, the newer guy in Switchfoot.
It's funny. I did a cover of one of his songs. Didn't ask, didn't get permission to do it. So I walked up to John at a show and said, like, "Hey man, I recorded one of your songs." He said, "You did? Thank you." He's so cool about it. It's like,
Cool.
I always feel weird about it because some people are not cool about those types of things. What? My publisher didn't know about this yet? What?
Right.
Yeah. So no. Those guys are awesome, and just first of all, I saw him at Kaboo. Switchfoot. I don't know if you were at Kaboo this year.
No.
But phenomenal. Just one of the best sets. Even people that didn't like Switchfoot were walking out going like, wow. So that's really cool. But on top of that, beyond their great shows, their philanthropy is amazing. They do the Bro-Am and all this kind of stuff, charity work, and underprivileged kids, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And so it's just phenomenal what they've been able to do with their fame.
Yeah.
I love that, And that's actually, a lot of bands in San Diego are like that. If nothing else, they will support other locals and take them on tour. Blink-182's taking local bands on tour. Jewel did the same thing when she got signed. Heck, Jason Mraz just took Gregory Page on the road with them for a while up the East Coast. So,
Wow.
all this is, San Diego bands do give back. It's great.
It's good to know. It's nice to hear all that.
All right, should we do another song?
Let's please do another
All right.
song.
Okay, this is called You Still Take My Breath Away.
Ah, yeah. So you get a nice little tone going for me here.
And this is my kind of like James Taylor-ish kind of song, I guess. Ready?
skirmishes in your hands. Simple game of cat and mouse that never goes as planned. We run in circles when we're not hiding in a haze, laughing at the little some things we can't pretend to praise. But you still take my breath away. You bring me danger. You still take my breath away. You make me linger. Dancing on the edge, looking for the light, laughing at the little some things that sometimes turn out right. As I recall, you really used to like the rain, used to laugh aloud at things you won't explain. But you still take my breath away. You bring me danger. You still take my breath away. You make me linger. Even stones crumble with the rain, touched by your presence, dear. Coy words and long refrains. We run in circles when we're not hiding in a haze, laughing at the little some things we can't pretend to praise. But you still take my breath away. Bring me danger. You still take my breath away. You make me linger. You still take my breath away. You still take my breath away. You still take my breath away.
Love that song, Bart.
Cool.
That is-
I'll learn another one by next time. It's just literally, I woke up, I would say 3 minutes before I was supposed to be in a car to come here. So sorry, Kiki.
You're very resourceful. We always sort of, I don't necessarily, it's not a topic, but we should talk about that. It's like, how do you think Bart's going to come over here today?
I'm going to get here.
So you get here by helicopter next time.
Yeah. Well, a part of the problem right now, since I haven't actually mentioned this anywhere else, is that I really can't see. And so, like, these glasses that I'm wearing are for effect at this point. Most of the time I actually wear them because I can't see at all. So they're...
I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, so I can't drive anymore. So hopefully, though, I've got a specialist on December 30th and January 7th for a week. So hopefully by the end of January, they'll be able to either do an operation, get me new glasses or something like that. Okay. So I've got corneal problems. And so alas, I'm not allowed to drive. And that's, my favor to all of you. Because
I probably shouldn't.
Yeah.
And I can't see.
Yeah, and it was funny too because I'm friends with somebody else who can't see. I'm not going to say who, but we were in the car together. They were in the front seat on the right, and I was in the back seat on the right. And we were going through a light, and both of us went, "Oh," at the same time. And I said to her, "You're thinking the same thing, right? We would have died if we'd been driving." So, yep, that's exactly right. Yeah. She said, "I can't see either." So there you have it. That's another song by moi. I'm hoping that one gets covered. That's never been covered
That's
yet.
a really good song, Bart.
Thank you. Yeah, that was written. That's a twofold one. That was written for someone that I wanted to let them know that I still care. Number one. Number two, the real reason though behind it is because I heard "Gotta Get You Into My Life" by the Beatles. And I thought, I want to write a song about that.
That's cool.
So you know what "Gotta Get You Into My Life" is about, right?
What?
Smoking pot.
Ah.
So that's what that's about. And that's why all the references are to lights and things like that.
Fun.
But it's a song that has two meanings there, and so on and so forth. And that's
Cryptic lyrics, gotta love it.
yeah. And the thing too is that one was written in mind, although I never gave it to her, but it was written for Steph Johnson to sing. She's the jazz singer in locally town. She's a good friend of mine, Rob Thorson's wife, bassist Rob Thorson's wife.
Gotcha.
So I've got two songs that I wrote for her, but never gave her. So
Real quick,
yeah.
I've noticed that your guitar tone is much smoother and nicer tonight. How do you feel about that pick I gave you?
I like this. I am a stubborn SOB that uses the same thing over and over again. I've had these socks since 1975. Everything is, thank you. It's the same, I don't change anything. I use a medium pick. It's, Greg and I have been together a long time. What I'm saying? I don't change things very often. And that's not the glass I usually use. I can't drink that. But I actually like this.
Definitely need Kmart underwear. Definitely.
Yes, Kmart underwear.
Definitely.
Yeah, this is really cool. It's thick. You guys can see that. What's it made out of?
High quality
There is
plastic.
it's ultra heavy molecular composite, so that doesn't really tell you.
This looks like push me pull you skin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I know it feels like a piece of chocolate velvety love. And it does. I don't know if you've noticed, but your tone is smoother.
Yeah.
And I'm happy you like it.
Let's
No,
have the
I
Mad
do.
Hatter in there, don't we?
Yeah. You would
What?
think.
What?
We have the Mad Hatter in that.
Looks like elephant or rhino skin actually.
Not in that guitar.
Because it's thick, the thought is that it's going to get caught in the strings, but it doesn't. I automatically thought like, oh, this is going to be kind of like. But no, this is real nice.
I'm glad you like it.
I will use this again.
This is the
Purple
time
selectum.
to give away our sets of strings to our
Yes.
lucky guest here.
Yes.
Bart, what gauge are you on your Strat? What gauge strings do you like to use?
I usually use a 9.
Well, we have
We have
nines
nines.
for you.
Thank you.
Thursday offers them.
Kurt
And
Megan,
the black label.
specials, black
Have a black
label,
label
black
from me to
label.
you. Merry Christmas.
Thank
Do you
you.
play guitar?
Yeah,
Do you?
What
Would
string
you like
gauge?
some strings?
sure.
We have 9s, 10s, and 11s.
11 would be good.
Ooh, we got it.
Your drum set takes 11s? Wow.
Goes to 11.
Goes to even better.
Kiki,
See,
would you
if you can take the joke one more,
Last
that's when it's got value. That's when it's got
do you
value.
play guitar,
Compound.
Kiki?
Compound joke.
No. So no strings for you.
No strings for you. These are good strings too, because you gave me a pair before, and I really enjoyed them. I still use them.
Organically made in
good.
Colorado.
Yeah.
Made from the finest. Yeah.
Organic.
Well, I'm
metal.
having fun. How you doing, Jason?
Good.
You got anything to say? You got your.
Well, we did maybe just a little bit on the current events. I want to get Bart's take on this. So
Okay, yeah.
What do you think about the new dependent laws that we're going to have to be facing? You heard about that?
I do. I have a
Yeah.
lot of thought on it. I think it's terrible. I think there's a recall election already going
There's
through.
a lot of recalling of election. Right now.
Yeah,
There's a
right
lot
now,
Of
yeah,
stuff
so-
on that docket there. Yeah.
The problem I have, and maybe she's watching, is that basically I saw a post the other day where our lovely, I don't know if she's what's she, assemblywoman, I don't know, Gonzalez.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically kind of went. Well, we talked to the music industry, and they didn't want to negotiate, so they just got, basically this is what we got. And I'm thinking to myself, so basically you don't care about your voters and your constituents. You know that they're saying this is not working, and rather than you try to go like, hey, let's do what we can do about this, you're like, well, we had what we did, and so deal with it.
It is what it is.
It is what it is, right?
Yeah,
And
take that, yeah.
that's I will say that's just bullshit.
Yeah.
So you know that there's a problem, that there's now unintended circumstances, consequences.
Yeah.
So why aren't you trying to fix it instead of just going like, well, hey, it'll wash out in the work. That's
Yeah.
not the way these things go. So if a recall election is going to be up there, count me in.
Yeah.
And I don't do politics either. You look at my page. I do not do politics. I do not do that. This I will step up for, and you will see a lot of stuff coming up about it. So
Yeah.
I do actually.
It's important. It's very
very, very
important
important.
people know
I
that-
do plan on talking to their offices next week. That may be wishful thinking because it's Christmas weekend, so possibly the next 2 weeks will be difficult. But I will be in contact with the state offices on this in the next couple of weeks, and maybe I can give you guys a report back on what I hear.
Cool.
That'd be
because the law's not supposed to go into effect until January. There's still a chance to amend it. There's still a
Yeah.
chance to do something that can do it. But if it's going to be a matter of like, hey, you guys are on your own, it's the sort of thing that's going to wreck, for example, bands that have residencies.
Yeah.
Children won't be able to play as much anymore or at all.
Yeah.
It's just across the board. This is just one of the dumbest things I've ever heard of. It's kind of like not a brain cell to rub together. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The union lobby is very powerful and very wealthy.
Yeah, but the union is not. This isn't that. This is just like not looking at the rest of the picture. They obviously picked out these two things, Uber, Lyft, and maybe something else, and went after that
and journalists.
And they didn't actually check and see what would happen with all this. Like I said, and Lorena Gonzalez wrote something yesterday as well on Facebook, which I read, which said something like somebody posted that 200 people lost their jobs yesterday in California from Vox because of I think that's news. And Gonzalez wrote something like, well, they were actually breaking the law before, and so now they're doing this to do that, and so they were looking for something to blame it on. Yeah. And I'm thinking like, well, you just gave it to them.
Yeah.
So now they can do this, and you just handed it to them, so you basically lost 200 people their jobs.
Yeah.
So basically I'm wondering if you can sue a government official for lost wages.
Probably not.
Well,
but you can recall them, and you can. We can.
Why wouldn't you be able to?
How can you?
I don't think.
Because basically, the government official is you'd have to sue the state because they're not an individual. They're part of the state, right? State. So you'd have to sue the state, which is what probably should go into place at this point. Some at least a petition to protest this, or not to recall this. Yeah. Because it makes no sense. And
it's going to happen is that people will not be able to work here.
Would someone like yourself have to be the one responsible putting up for the petition for all of us?
The petition's already there.
It is?
Yeah.
The recall petitions are already out. What it's going to have to do is musicians are going to have to get together on this and just do their actual protests.
Well, I think it's any independent contractor. It affects everybody across the
It does, but we can't. I think it would be a mistake to try to bring everybody in. It's like everybody do their thing, and everybody get together when the big thing happens. But initially, we got to get the musicians together to understand what the problem is here.
They're all getting together to do. So you have this faction, this faction.
Yeah, this is a ridiculous, poorly thought out thing. But that's also why.
Like everything they do.
Well, not everything, but this is also why, though, I think that if enough stink is made, it'll be taken care of very shortly. Like this, there's no reason why there can't be an amendment to that, like there is for all these other things. Mm-hmm. So it really, like I said, just
renegotiation.
Yeah, I mean, right off the bat, if you're doing the 36 kind of things, I mean, that means that unless Panama 66 makes Gilbert Castellano an employee, the Young Lions series for all the kids is done. Can't do it anymore. That means that after 27 years, Electric Waste Band can't be the house band at Winston's anymore. That means that I can't write about all the bands after June.
You have to have a certain amount. You only have a certain amount.
You can only have a certain amount that you can write. Yeah, you can't write anymore after that. So this is really? This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard of.
Well, it's very frustrating.
Yeah.
It's basically we're all contributing to the economy. And we're just taking that all away. It's very difficult to do.
Well, not only that, they're taking it away from
the livelihoods.
The livelihoods of the lower. I hate to say this, the lower class. The people that are not making much money. Now, the millionaires and whatnot, and the thousandaires, it doesn't really affect them. But for all of us, a $50 gig is a big deal. That could be the difference whether I eat or not that week sometimes. So this is not something to be taken lightly.
Yeah.
Also, it's going to drive a lot of people underground. But the worst part is not that the bands aren't going to be able to play, but that the clubs will stop hiring.
Yep.
So it's not going to be not going to affect us from this side.
It'll be too much of a hassle to.
Yeah, it's too much of a pain in the ass and too much money to play a gig. You're making $50 and you got to pay $2,000 in fees and certificates and background checks and I don't know what you got, all the paperwork you got to do, but it's a bunch of stuff and it's ridiculous.
So that means we'll really be in demand over here.
Yeah. Well,
we'd have to be paying.
Well, it just doesn't make any sense.
The same way.
Is this considered a venue, by the way?
I don't think this counts because you're not paying anybody.
That's true.
Yeah. So I think you're clear. And in my stuff, I think I have loopholes in that. I write for a lot of different people, so I think it's like I can do a bunch here and a bunch there, and it just works different things. But basically, there's going to be a lot of laws broken.
Yes.
And then again, too, all these fines are going to be putting down on people if they don't do. I mean, who's going to seriously? You're going to go to some 7-year-old kid and fine him $4,000 or whatever it's going to be. I'm just making up a figure there, and fine him like that because he didn't pay the other 3 guys, 8-year-olds in his band, didn't get all the proper paperwork and their, tax forms together. I mean, this is ridiculous.
They do that to kids with lemonade stands nowadays already.
Yeah, well, that's
Have a permit.
Lemonade is, come on, that's the devil's juice, right?
Yes.
But I mean,
You don't do without that. Right?
yeah, you don't do that. And basically, what happens pretty much every time they come in and raid one of those things, the community gets together, they buy all the stuff for the kid, the cop feels terrible, and they rescind the whole thing.
Yeah.
So why are we even doing this dance?
Exactly.
So it's just stupid. I don't use that kind of language normally, but this is just ridiculous.
Yeah,
and
it's terrible.
if nothing else, there's a place in hell for people that cause this much tension and aggravation and stress on other people for no real reason.
I think it's just gross negligence. Like you said, I think that they just did not think it through.
No.
Because they're just like, oh, this is a good idea.
But, if a politician was really smart, I would think that they would jump on this and go like, hey, guys, we're going to take care of this. Because you got the vote.
Yeah.
I mean, how many musicians are there in California that would go like, wait a minute, she took care of this?
And how many
awesome.
politicians, that are actually smart, though? That's what I don't know.
That's
Kind of hard.
I know, smart people don't run for office.
They're smart, but they're not
Yeah.
smart.
Yeah. So, but I mean, seriously, if somebody took care of this, they would have the hearts of every musician and probably vote of every musician in the country.
Yeah.
It would be that simple, but hopefully somebody will see that.
Yeah.
So we were talking about this today at the Music Awards, and I was really, really irate about it, but I've got a little bit of faith that it'll take care of itself.
Yeah.
Most things do in the grand, and by itself, I mean we'll have to get in there and push.
We'll have to do something about it.
Nudge. Yeah, sure. But like I said, overall, these things they correct themselves and it gets taken care of. But again, in this day and age, the fact that somebody didn't catch that is.
Yeah, it's not really surprising.
Well, because
Not at all.
I always look at the other side as well too. Like, are they trying to bring in like extra revenue and fines? Are they trying to keep certain types of journalists from writing?
I don't. Yeah, there's no real like benefit to it. I think it's to possibly try to make sure that that they collect enough taxes out of. They gotta. It's like finding, blood from a stone. Let's go. Well, this is a market we haven't tapped for.
It's
like pretty much like there's money there. Let's grab it.
There's nobody apparently, including the person that passed this that got this passed, that thinks this is a good idea. Oh well, it's just okay. So I'm like, why are we doing this? So, like I said, I don't know enough about the nitty gritty part of it. But I'm going to.
Yeah.
So
there you have it, people.
I'll give you guys a report back on that.
We'll have more to come for you.
Well, let's talk about something positive. What's something good and positive? I mean, Wonderfront wasn't as well attended as it could have been, but it was a really good event.
Certainly.
I thought it was really, really cool. Looking to see what Kaboo does when it comes downtown next year. So that's interesting to see.
Is that going to be in the street, like between 5th and 6th?
It's going to be around at Petco Park and the surrounding community.
Gotcha.
So like that. But I've heard there's going to be multiple stages in Petco.
Okay.
So it's not going to be like a stadium show and then a couple of small stages around. It'll be different. So they haven't announced at all. I've heard rumors about who's coming, but I don't want to say that because
And then what else do you have going on in the next couple of?
Oh, good Lord. Okay. Let's see.
Shows. Any Riviera gigs?
January 4th, we're at the Casbah doing the Tom Petty Fest, the annual Tom Petty tribute. That's going to be fun. We do 3 songs every time, the exact same 3 songs. Yeah. We'll be doing Runaway by Del Shannon, because the Traveling Wilburys recorded that. We'll be doing Feel a Whole Lot Better by the Byrds, which Tom Petty actually recorded and had a single with, and then we'll do Handle with Care.
There you go.
The Traveling Wilburys track. So we're doing that. The 10th, we're at the Riviera. The 12th, we're at the Grand Ole Barbecue. Great spot.
I still haven't eaten there.
My friend Andy. Yeah.
Fantastic. Love the place. And I love the Riviera as well. 2 different types of gigs, but great. Let's see. Manual Scans EP, The Underground Files, comes out January 7th. The Staring at the Sun's March 20th, Music Awards March 23rd. We're taking a break in February to finish up our album, the True Stories album, which is called Who Will Play Us in the Movie? Because our new bass player, Scott Matheson, is having a baby.
Oh, there you go.
So he's going to be out of commission.
Congratulations, Scotty.
Yes.
Congratulations,
And
Scott.
he might be out of commission more than a month, but we're going to use that 1 month to finish up
Get
the
it
album.
done.
And if everything works on our new album, it's going to be an amazing thing because we're not doing it like a band. We're doing it like a production, like it would have been done in the 60s. So
Gotcha.
I had the hard news of telling the soloist in my band that they're not going to be playing solos. You know, it's going to be other people. So we have
That really hurts.
yeah, I'm sorry, but we got Glenn Laughlin from the Dickies
Okay.
to play lead. We've got Johnny Vernazza from the Elvin Bishop Band is going to be on it.
Johnny.
Why wouldn't you have Johnny?
Yeah, Greg Douglas from the Steve Miller Band's going to play on it. You got all people like that. I got Mona from the Mittens is going to do a
Okay.
duet with me on one
Fun.
song. So yeah, we're going to have a good. We wanted to make an album that we couldn't play live.
There you go.
Oh, very good. I can't wait to hear it.
Yeah, because everybody does stuff that nowadays, oh, I'm just going to take it on the road. This is going to be impossible. Too many parts, too many weird songs. You know, it's going to be really, really something. So
Sounds like a keeper.
Look
well,
forward
will
to it.
anybody buy it? Who knows? But I'm going to be happy with it. My mom will want a copy. I know that. So, and Kiki needs a new coaster. So that's 7 copies right there, plus one for Greg. We've gone platinum.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. It's like,
Well, we are getting down to the tail end. I would like to do a quick shout out to our sponsors.
Yes, let's do it.
Mad Hatter Guitar Products. Love your stuff. If you don't know what they are, check them out at madhatterguitarproducts.com. You got cables, my signature cable, yes, the teacher, available there. Also, Kurt Mang and Strings. We love them. Everyone in here is using them. So should you. You can go check out kurtmanganstrings.com or just everything off our theorythursday.com.
And Purple Plectrums.
And yes, well, we got Purple Plectrum. We love Purple Plectrums.
Bart
Bart
was playing
loves
Purple.
Purple Plectrums. Purple Plectrum, Purple Plectrum. I'm going to write a song.
You just did?
Yeah, we didn't throw any chords behind it, though.
it's just Jerry Reed.
Yeah,
There you go.
Purple Plectrums. But yes, happy holidays. 'Tis the season. I'd like to send some beautiful love to this guy right here for help curating Theory Thursday and getting it to what it is today. Bart, we cannot thank you.
Thanks, man. I appreciate
enough.
that.
No, it's a big deal. I love you, man.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
And playing your songs, hopefully playing them well, is one of my favorite things to do. Waiting for people like you to come over here and jam music here on Theory Thursday. It's a great experience.
Well, it's my songs are I get it, are a little off, a little strange, and I just always remember. I like the fact that you guys keep up, and I'm not saying these songs are like Speed Racer or anything like that, but I
There's
just
a lot of chords.
a lot of chords, capos, and things like that. I just remember we did an acoustic jam with Gregory Page and a bunch of other people, and a friend of mine, Jeffrey Moran, said, "Hey, can I play harmonica with you?" And I'm like, you know, these songs are a little off. I can keep up with anybody. And so he played with the first guy, and it was great. And Jeffrey wailed on the harmonica. He got to Gregory Page, played a song with him. Great. He goes, "All right, Bart, start yours." We get 4 chords in. He goes, "I'm out." So, yeah, they can be like that. So
Certainly.
the fact that you guys keep up is pretty impressive.
Well, thank you. We tried. What good would we be if we couldn't? Also, last but not least, Muzio Drums. How you feeling about those drums over there?
Pretty nice. Play
Yeah?
nice. They play nice.
Good. I'm glad you're happy about that. And you get to
Kind
keep
of
playing them.
mixture of the both worlds. You get the digital
Right.
and the feel of the kit. That's what's cool about it.
And it looks like Theory Thursday is going to be doing some future collaboration with another local company here coming up. Some more news. Stay tuned. We'll see you next week with Raymond DiGiorgio.
Ooh.
Ooh.
There we go.
Ooh.
One more thing, guys. Yes, thanks again for watching. Also, go to our website, theorythursday.com. Also, hit up Mr. Guitar Lessons for the best guitar teacher around. Sign up. Do it. Also, sign up to be one of our patrons. We could use the help. Thank you. Enjoy your day.
Pay for all that mustache grease.
Got to get the mustache grease. Got to keep me in whale oil to keep the. I just prefer baby seal oil.
But don't the
Get it.
Pringles royalties help out?
Pringles helps, also.
That's so good.
Yeah.
Isn't that
For
Pringles
sure.
logo have a monocle? Oh, no, that's Monopoly.
No, Monopoly never had the monocle. That's another Mandela effect.
Mandela effect.
There you go. But no,
Ooh,
but the
ooh.
Mr. Peanut does.
Mr. Peanut.
From Planters. Yeah. But the Monopoly guy has the mustache. So.
Yeah, he does have the mustache and the top
Yeah.
hat. The
And
top
the
hat.
top hat, yeah.
Top hats
There
are
we
good.
go.
They are.
I would wear one if it was sartorially.
Well, it also is kind of a great fun to be able to continue. Kiki, thank you for sitting in and help documenting tonight's episode.
Also, thanks to the guys back here.
And this badass drummer,
Crispy.
Alex Eubank, and Mr. Anthony Hernandez making the show fly. Thank you. having all of them back there it's amazing. They all fit.
Kinda.
Well, if you stack them properly,
We
it's all
gotta get
good.
a cam
Nuts to
for you
butts
guys.
back there, though.
We
I
need
mean,
a, we need a cam.
Yeah, a cam back here, yeah.
Anyhow,
Nuts to butts.
take us away, Mr. Mendoza.
Well, my baby says she's traveling on the one after 909. She said, move over, honey, I'm traveling on that line. She said, move over once, move over twice. Come on, baby, don't be cold as ice. Said she's traveling on the one after 909. Well, I begged her not to go, and I begged her on my bended knee. Said you're only fooling around with me. I said, move over once, move over twice. Come on, baby, don't be cold as ice. Said you're traveling on the one after 909. Pick up my bag, run to the station. Railman says I got the wrong location. Yeah. Pick up my bag, run right home. Then I find I got the number wrong. Yeah. Said she's traveling on the one after 909. I said, move over, honey, I'm traveling on that line. I said, move over once, move over twice. Come on, baby, don't be cold as ice. Said she's traveling on the one after 909. Take it, Mike. Pick up my bag, run to the station. Railman says I got the wrong location. Yeah, pick up my bag, run right home. Then I find I got the number wrong. Yeah, said she's traveling on the one after 909. Said, move over, honey, I'm traveling on that line. I said, move over once, move over twice. Come on, baby, don't be cold as ice. Said you're traveling on the one after 909. Said you're traveling on the one after 909. Said you're traveling on the one after 909.
Never go wrong with a Beatles song.